recording now. We have. Okay, so we're recording. So anyway, I never want to discourage people from advancing in their accounting skills and education. So if you want to make yourself more marketable beyond just labor contractors, then it'd be a good idea to continue your education, both general business and accounting. I would do it if I were you. You're young, 30. I became a CPA at age 35. Okay, so you're young. I know you don't feel that way because you feel like you're taking on all these responsibilities, especially if you have children, which I think I saw a little one with you earlier, right? So, but you are very young still. So don't worry about your age. Just do what you want to do. Advance as you want to go. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Okay, first let's go with Jean because you piped in first. So what do you got, Jean?
What review prep course or review center would you suggest for taking the CPA exam? Do you have any suggestions?
You know, it's been a long time since I took it. Becker is the one that I'm most familiar with that's still around today. And that's what I use, but then I use distant education. I never had a live course review because you know I was already working full time and I didn't want to spend my evenings in a classroom. So and I'm very comfortable with electronics and you know being on the web and learning online, and so I'm very comfortable with that. So if you're good with that, then you can do distant education, and that's who I use. I use Becker Distant Education. But I'm sure their live courses are good, although I don't know what's going on right now with all the COVID going on. But I'm sure they're just as good as well. They're not the cheapest, but they're also provide a guarantee. And when I say the guarantee, meaning you don't have to pay for it again. Once you pay for it once, you know, then you know if you don't pass everything, you can turn around and retake courses, and it won't cost you anymore. I believe that's if it's still the way that it was when I was in school. That's or when I was getting ready. That's what I use.
Thank
Jasmine,
you.
Does that answer your question, Jean?
Yes, thank you.
Jasmine, you're up.
No, I just wanted to say thank you for saying that you became a CPA at 35. I turned a big 30 next month. And basically I'm starting my life again. Like I said, I'm a single mom of 2 now. And, you know, going back into the workforce and just starting education again. It's just nice knowing that you can start whenever. So thank you.
Yeah, and you know, I was working full time, and you know, I didn't finish my graduate degree until I was 28. I didn't finish my undergrad till I was 26. So, and I didn't break. I didn't stop going to school. I just started going to school and taking 3 units and then 6 units, and because I was working full time and keeping a family going. So, and I didn't end up with a whole bunch of school debt at the end. I was paying as I went. So you can do the way where you actually borrow, and if you borrow for education, that's an investment in your future. But here's what I'm going to tell you, all of you for sure. You can borrow for education, borrow for tuition, borrow for books, but do not borrow for living expenses. You're going to need to get a job, all right? You need to be able to take care of yourselves. Because if you borrow for living expenses on top of your education, you're going to end up with $100,000 of loans when you're finished up with your 4-year degree. And that's crazy in my mind. You really shouldn't do that. I mean, if you can find a way, and I know it's difficult for some of you, but there are alternatives like Burger King. They're hiring. I just go through the drive-through, okay? And it's not very good pay. And it's you know, at 26, I was working at Kmart for, you know, about almost a year, and just stocking shelves and you know, trying to get through. And then it wasn't until a little bit later, when I was 26, I started working for the city of Sanger as a part-time accountant. So do what you got to do. I mean, it's going to be tough and it's going to be a challenge for you. But I hate when I have some students tell me that, you know, they've got $150,000 of debt when they're finishing up their education. That's brutal. Be careful with these private, especially they're like right now they're selling online, like like Phoenix and DeVry, and they're good universities and they'll give you a good education. But you know, they are for profit, and so the people that you talk to, their advisors, they're selling that they get paid based upon how many students they have in those rooms. And so sometimes they say things just to make it so that you can get into the classroom. All right, it's not like public universities or public colleges where they're motivated to, in most cases, to just help the students, and not so much to you know, they don't have an ulterior motive. And mind you, I used to work for the University of Phoenix. I worked for DeVry University. I worked for Bramman University, and they are good colleges. I don't want to suggest to you that they're bad, because the faculty are good, the programs are good, but it's just sometimes their recruiting people are pretty pretty aggressive, I guess I could say, in what they tell you and everything. And so they will say something like, oh, well, go ahead and max out what you could borrow, because that way you don't have to worry. And so they'll tell you that, and you'll say, oh, okay, so I'll just max out what I need to borrow. And so even though your education maybe costs, you know, maybe $10,000 a year, you're going to borrow $15,000 a year, and that's supposed to help you pay for your living expenses, which I get. But you know, you're going to end up with a huge bill, you know, at the end of the 4 years. And sometimes it doesn't, you know, and then you always have to have in your back of my mind, what if something goes wrong? I can't finish for a period of time, and you're still going to end up with that debt, right? I know there's talk about maybe debt forgiveness maybe coming up with the new administration, but you can't really count on that. You've got to figure out a way to get through your education without ending up with so much debt, all right? Any other questions before we get on? We got to get on to the class eventually, but go ahead. Any other questions?
I had a question about the class, but
Okay, I got a lot to cover on the class, so why don't you let me do this? If there's no more other questions, I'm going to go ahead and get started on the class, and then after we covered everything in the class, then you could see if you have any further questions. Okay, so let me do that. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. Okay, can you guys see my screen now? Should be like a Windows Explorer. Let me put this up. You should be able now to see Accounting 210. This is Canvas. Can you guys see it? Thumbs up?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
All right, okay, very good. All right, so hopefully all of you know how to get to at least this point. What I want you to do, let's see, I'm going to go into modules. Well, actually, I'm going to go to home, because that's what you're going to see when you first get on. And if I go to home, which is your first page, you'll see this is the way the textbook looks. So whenever you order it and you actually receive it, this is what it should look like. So that could help you in that respect. I don't know, I'm a little confused. Can I get a little bit of a hint of what I need to, where I could click on, or what I should click on? Any hints at all? Anybody?
To do what?
Start here.
Oh my goodness, hey, why don't we click on Start Here? Is that a good idea? Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Oh, let's try doing that. Okay, we'll click on Start Here. So we have the calendar and we have the syllabus that's at the top. So, oh, I got that crossed over, don't I? It says here's the course syllabus and there's the calendar. Let me go fix that. That's a page. I'm going to edit the page. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. I'm going to add a file. The first one is the syllabus. So now the syllabus is going to be there. I'm going to edit this. And I'm going to add the file, course calendar. Okay, so the syllabus should have been here, but now it is for sure. It was just crossed up. The two were just crossed over. You want to get to the syllabus, you'll click on this, and here's the syllabus. Here's my contact information. You're probably going to be most successful in getting a hold of me through email. And I'm pretty responsive on emails. I usually get back within a few hours. My rule of thumb is I have to get back to you within 24, but in some cases, it may be as long as 48 hours. In particular, like the example I'll give you, if you click on my, if you send me an email, let's say Saturday evening, and I'm going to take Sunday off, and then I've got a busy morning on Monday, then I may not get back to you till Monday afternoon, which is pretty close to 48 hours. If you don't get a reply back to me within 48 hours, then you need to send me another email. And when you do that, you remind me that you actually emailed me, and then I'm going to spend at least a minute or two apologizing, because what sometimes happens is I'll get an email and I'll click on it and I'll think, oh, I can't get back to that right now. I'll have to get back to later. And then I'll fail to mark it as unread. And so the next time I come in, I just look at all my unread messages, and so it's a problem. So that's the best way to get a hold of me. And again, I'm pretty good at getting to people. Here is what's required. It's your QuickBooks Pro 2018 Comprehensive Textbook. Here's the ISBN. We'll look at what you have to do to sign up, because there's a whole process here. So let's not worry about this. We'll get back to this. The course goals are listed here. The student learning objectives, you can read through these. This is the content of what we're going to be covering. The evaluation, the most important there is what's in all caps. Late assignments will not be accepted. The good news is you don't have any assignments due until, I think until Monday the 25th, but we'll confirm that right now. So that gives you some time to get all this rigmarole that you have to get set up. And it's going to take a little bit, but once you get it, you'll be good to go. For participation, this is important as well. Now, participation is going to be the easiest points you can get for the most part, but they're not completely easy. You've got to follow the rules, right? So students are required to post 2 substantive discussion questions on 3 different days for a minimum of 6 posts on the online weeks. Actually, this is no longer valid anymore. I'm going to have to update this. Let's go to what we have under modules, and let's go to participation online. Okay, so this is what's valid to you. Okay, students will be required to participate in weekly online discussions. The online week begins on Monday at 12 a.m. and ends on Sunday at 11:59. Each week, the instructor will post discussion questions in the discussion forum located in Canvas. During the online week, students will be required to. So, for example, our online week started this week. Week 1 started on Monday morning, okay, and ends on Sunday evening at 11:59. Now, the good news is there's no real posting or participation requirements in week 1. I did post, and you'll see a introduction discussion, but that's optional, and you can participate if you like. If you just want to be a stalker and look at everybody else post, that's fine as well. Okay, I don't grade it, so you won't lose any points or there won't be a problem. But after week 1, week 2 is when your actual participation requirements will kick in. And the participation requirements are going to be that you post 1 reply message that contains 2 well-developed paragraphs that clearly address the discussion questions. The instructor will not consider a single sentence paragraph as well-developed. So you've got to look at the discussion questions. I think in most cases they're going to be 2 questions, and we'll take a look at them so you can actually see what they look like. But you'll be required to reply that with 2 well-developed paragraphs, okay? And then after you're done with that, you're going to have to reply to 2 other student posts. So during the week, you only have to make 3 posts during the week, okay? When you reply to the 2 other students, you must show evidence of critical thinking and meaningful interaction with the posting, as well as course resources, ask engaging questions, or provide insight into the discussion. Both quantity and quality are important considerations when posting substantive messages. For example, I agree is not considered substantive because it does not add anything of substance to the discussion. A single sentence post will not be considered substantive. Okay? So let's take a look at the discussion questions themselves. So here is your introduction, which is not graded. This is just information that you could put here, which is great. Looks like 3 of you already participated. Thank you. We'll go to the next week, week 2, as an example, because I don't know if you can even see week 2 yet, but I will show it to you here. And you will see that there will be 2 questions. So there's 2 paragraphs, obviously 1 paragraph dedicated to each question. The first question is, what is the difference between accrual basis accounting and cash basis accounting? What is one more or when is one more appropriate than the other? Which do you believe is better and why? So that's why a single sentence won't work, because you've got multiple questions within there, right? And then the second question is, this is one paragraph, and this is going to be a second paragraph. What is GAAP, and why is it important to the users of financial statements? Please explain. So one paragraph will be dedicated to this question. One paragraph will be dedicated to this. You post that. You've addressed the discussion question. Now, after that, you then have to reply to 2 other students, okay? 2 other students, and it has to be substantive, okay? You guys follow? Now, as a rule, this will be I'm going to give you the roadmap to making sure that your discussion response, especially the replies to students, will be substantive. Okay, so it's a 3-step process, right? 3-step. The first step is acknowledge somebody's post. So let's say they write about the differences about accrual basis accounting and cash basis accounting. So you might reply and say, hey, I read your response and I really like the way you outlined how accrual basis does this and cash basis does this, blah, 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 blah. So in that first sentence, you have acknowledged their post and showed or demonstrated that you actually read it, okay? It's not just a reply button and you're just good to go. You actually read their post. So that's the first sentence. The second sentence is, my thought process is, or in addition to that, I would think that you would have to do blah, blah, blah for accrual basis and blah, blah, blah for cash basis. So now you're adding to the discussion, right? You don't repeat what they said. You then turn around and try to bring your opinion, your thoughts, or your analysis to the question. So the first part, you acknowledge what they post. The second part is you add to their post, you bring in more information. And then the third sentence would be a follow-up question like, well, what are your thoughts about about what I just explained? What are your thoughts? Or do you agree or disagree? So now you've done 3 things. You've acknowledged their post, you have added to their post, and then you've asked a follow-up question. If you meet those 3 requirements, you will have I have no way, but I have no choice. I've got to give you full credit. Okay? Does that make sense? All right. Now, going back to the actual discussion requirements, I'm gonna repost the syllabus with that same, and when I do that, I will alert you so that you can download an updated syllabus. But when we go to the participations online, right now, for the meantime, just go ahead and use this, and then I will post an updated syllabus that has this wording in it. Both quantity and quality are important considerations. Oh, I think I already read that. Students will earn 50% of the weekly discussion points by responding to the initial discussion questions. All right, the only requirement is that a single sentence paragraph is well developed, will not be considered well developed. So if you have 2 sentences and you think that that's going to apply to replying to the DQs, when I say DQ, I mean discussion questions, that's not going to work. So make sure you have a well-developed paragraph for each question. So that will give you 50% for both of those replies. That will give you 50%. And then you will get 25% for the substantive posts and the replies to other students. Now recognize you don't get partial points here. So you get 50%. Let's say you do respond to the first question, you'll get 50% for that. Then you post 2 posts, but only one of them is substantive. So you'll get 50% for the DQ and 25% for the substantive posts. You'll get 0% for the one that's not substantive. It's either a go or no go. So your points are, yes.
Sorry. So just to summarize, you have to acknowledge a paragraph, then you'll have to add to the paragraph, adding your thought in addition to it, and then last you'll have to ask the question yourself. Can you hear me?
Yeah, a follow-up question. That's perfect. Okay. So, yeah, you're welcome. So then 50, 25, and 25. So the only points you can get, well, what's the total points per let's go back to the syllabus. Do I have the syllabus? Yeah. I'm going to scroll down to the end to look at the points. It looks like participation is 20 points. All right, so if you answer the DQs, you're going to get 10 points for that. That's 50%. If you, for every, after that, it's, if you've met one post substantive, you'll get 15 points. And if you get 2, then you'll get all 20. So that's the only thing, 0, 10, and 15, and 20. Those are the only points you can get. All right? Nothing in between, because I don't do partial credits for something that was kind of substantive, kind of not. It's either go or no go. After week 2, I will make a point to give you feedback like within a couple of days, especially on your DQs, so that you can know exactly what I'm looking for. Get some feedback, and that way, if you mess up one week, well, that's just 1 week. You can recover from the remaining weeks and be okay. All right. All right. Are there any questions about participation? And again, ignore what's on the syllabus. I'll fix it and update it. When you want to know what well, you can read it here, and then you can also read it on the actual discussions, because it tells you the discussion will tell you this exactly. So in other words, if you go to the discussions and you click on the actual discussion, when it's available to you, it'll tell you post 1 reply and then 2 reply messages. So there's 2 places where it's right. On the syllabus, it's wrong. And when I fix it, I will let you know. All right. All right. Let's go back to the syllabus. Everything is cool here. The drop policy is listed. Here are the points. Exams, there's 3 of them at 100 points apiece. The homework assignments are 33 of them. They're at 10 points apiece. The quizzes are 12 at 10 points apiece. There's 2 comprehensive problems that are due. We got to give a heads up on that. They're 100 points each, or 200. And then there's a final exam that's 100 points. And discussions are 21. So you can see of all the weight discussions are 21.1%. That's the second to the highest. The homework problems are the next, okay? So make sure you get your discussions in, because like I said, those are going to be the easiest points. All right? Okay. There's some additional information about everything. There is a final exam that's due on Friday, May 14, 2021 at 4 p.m. But I'm going to go to the calendar right now next to make sure we understand what the calendar requirements are. I'm sorry for keeping you up, Dominique. That was a joke.
I know, somebody yawned near me.
I'm so exciting, I can tell. Okay, here's your course calendar. Let's kind of blow that up a little bit. You also should have access to it. The week, just so that we're clear, the date associated with discussion starts on Monday and ends on Sunday night. Okay, Monday, Sunday night. Your discussions are due at Sunday midnight. Now, because of the nature of being online, let's say we go to week 2, Monday on the 18th, and then 24th is Sunday, the 24th it's 11:59. Your discussions fall in that range, right? That's clearly said in the participation requirements. Now, as a favor to all of you, as a favor to students, I mean, technically what I should do is make even your homework assignments due at 11:59 on Sunday evening, right? And that way we're good to go. Monday morning starts, everybody starts a new week. From the goodness of my heart, because I love all my students, I go ahead and allow students to submit their assignments up to the next day until 4 p.m. And the reason why is after doing these courses for so many years, it was becoming annoying that on Sunday evening, if there's some kind of technical issues, I couldn't address it because I'm not checking my emails anyway on Sunday, right? The Sundays are kind of like a break day for me. So what I decided was that, look, rather than having to address any technical issues, and they might be resolved even by themselves overnight, I will give you until Monday, the next morning at 4 p.m. By the way, if you haven't already noticed, is I'm posting office hours every day, Monday through Friday. Well, no, Monday through Thursday. I shouldn't say every day. Monday through Thursday from 10 to 11 a.m. So this will give you one more chance to come at me and ask me some questions. Now, I'll show you my calendar as well. There'll be other times that you can do that, but that Monday, that would probably be the last time that you can then, you know, see me on Zoom, and we can talk through some things and try to resolve what the problems are. Okay, so as a favor, I'm allowing students to submit their assignments on the Monday after the week has ended, okay, at 4 p.m. You're welcome. And by the way, my birthday is on March 11th. So if you decide that you're really grateful, that's, you know, that'd be a nice time to show your appreciation. I love my birthday. Oh my goodness, I'm going to be 55.
On March 12th.
March 12th?
Yeah, so you can give me something too.
I just did. I just gave you a gift, all right? This is for everybody's birthday when it happens. Whenever you have your next birthday, remember, oh no, Andy did give me that gift, right? He allowed me to submit my assignments on the following Monday. You're welcome. Okay, and then from then on, now, I will tell you the first assignments for chapter 1 are to be submitted in Canvas, okay? You are to submit, and this is in week 2. This week there's no requirement. This week is all dedicated to get everything set up. Next week, chapter 1, you are to submit your assignments into Canvas. Okay, it's what you have to do is complete chapter 1, 1-1 and 1-2. When you get your books, you'll see it's in the book. Submit the Explorer QuickBooks worksheet and get Grasp on Accounting Principles worksheet to Canvas. And there'll be links there. We'll take a look at them right now, but you'll complete, this is done in Canvas. Now, you still need access to Elab because you have to complete chapter 1 quiz. And it says there, complete chapter 1 quiz, and that's an Elab. So Elab has to be up and running for you so that you complete the first week's quiz. After this is week 2, after week 2, all of your assignments, 100% of your assignments, with the exception of the comprehensive problems, 100% of your problems are now done in Elab. So both your homework and your quizzes are in Elab ready to go. Okay? Now, just so that we're clear, let's go ahead and look at week 2, modules, week 2. And we'll click on modules. We'll go down to week 2, and you'll see apply your skills 1-1. This is due on January 25th. Complete exercise, apply your skills 1-1, located on page 18 of your textbook. Submit the Explorer QuickBooks worksheet file using a worksheet to this link. All right, so you will have a link that will allow you to upload your assignment. Okay, I don't because I'm an instructor, but you will. Okay, and if you don't, let me know and I'll go figure out what's going on, but I'm pretty sure you do. All right, I set it up that way, so it better be that way. Let me make sure too. Well, 0 of 1 submissions graded. Did somebody already submit? Oh my goodness. File uploads, yep. So you should have, somebody already submitted. You guys are awesome. Somebody's on it. Okay.
Whoever submitted, could you send some motivation my way, please? Thank you.
Jasmine, you're the one that you submitted it?
No, I said whoever submitted it, send some of that motivation my way.
I got it. Well, they're probably not even here because they're way ahead of us anyway, so they probably got bored with us. Okay, so remember that your assignments, your first assignment, 1-1 and 1-2, must be submitted in Canvas. Now, from then on out, if you go to the, like for example, 2-1, when that shows up for you, it says complete your assignments in Elab. So you don't submit anymore. You have to do everything in Elab. All right? All right. Are there any questions about the calendar? Oh, let me scroll down to the end. Well, everything is due Monday at 4 p.m., Monday at 4 p.m., except the final exam. The final exam is going to be due on Friday at 4 p.m. So just note that. Oh, and also I will give you a heads up on this. In the modules, you'll see that there's comprehensive problems that need to be submitted, right? And I actually show the first comprehensive problem, let's see, in about week 7. comprehensive learning project, Unit 1, due May 10th for. So it's not due till May 10th. Even though I put it into week 7, it's not actually due until May 10th. But this is like a reminder, hey, you've got some comprehensive problems that you got to work on. Now, you really can't work on the comprehensive problem until you get, the first few chapters done anyway. So here's your chance that during this week, it's a little bit light, you can actually get started on it, okay? And then at the end of the course, you'll have a comprehensive learning project that's due on same date. They're both due on the same date, on the 14th. So you want to get started on those as quickly as possible. Actually, I went ahead and posted it into module 14. You want to get started on those as quickly as possible, and then you'll see the actual module that they're showing is in module 17, which is week 17, which this is obviously, this is incorrect as well. Let me edit this. May 10th. It's actually showing 14th. What does the syllabus say? Calendar shows comprehensive problems due May 10th. So I'm going to have to adjust this as well. It's all over the place. It's listed here. The only problem about these courses is that I've got them listed all over the place. You got dates all over, and anyway, that's not your problem. That's fine. Okay. So that fixes Unit 2 comprehensive problem. Let's make sure Unit 1 is correct as well. May 10th, yeah. So that one's okay. So I got the comprehensive problem Unit 1 done correctly, but I dropped the ball. Okay, anyway, so now both of them are good to go. They're both due on May 10th at 4 p.m. May 10th at 4 p.m. I do have them in the modules earlier to give you kind of a heads up, but just pay attention to the due dates and you should be good to go. It's also listed in the calendar, and it's showing that the comprehensive unit problems are due on May 10th. Okay? All right. Any questions about the calendar? All right, so we've covered participation online. I've already went over my contact information. Let's look at online purchase of materials. Let's click on this. Okay, so here's the textbook that you need to get a hold of. You can choose which what you want. You can choose the format, whether you want it printed with Elab, ebook and Elab, or just or the retail card for just for bookstore with Elab. I would suggest if you're comfortable with ebooks, with online books, then this should be a good option. It's probably the least expensive for you. If you want to have a physical book, then you want to be the printed. Did anybody already buy this book, by the way? Is it Nina? Or okay, so you guys got it. So that's good. Did you buy it through here? Everybody bought it through here?
No, I got it through the school.
Oh, through the bookstore. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I got bookstore.
Okay. How much was it? How much was it to the bookstore?
I don't even remember. I don't remember.
Okay. All right. So did it come with an Elab subscription code as well, or did you have to buy that separately?
It comes
It
with
came
the
in.
code.
Well, it
It's
came with
actually
the subscription as
on
well.
the inside cover.
Okay, very good, very good.
Oh, mine's not working.
Right. Okay, so we're good to go. That's how we get the materials. You can get it through the bookstore, or you can purchase it online, whichever works better for you. Okay, let me close this, and that brings us back to where we were in Canvas. So any questions about purchasing the materials? You just need the book and the Elab. All right. What did you pay for the book and the Elab through the bookstore?
I don't remember exactly. It was
I think it was 130,
138.
something like that.
Yeah.
That's not a death sentence. That's actually
Yeah.
not bad compared to some of the other books.
My
I know
other book was
the accounting books with my lab are like $300.
yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right. If you need some Canvas support, there's the Canvas support. You'll click on here. There's additional information and links that I set up for you so that you can learn a little bit more about how Canvas works. Now there's a questions thread as well. And this questions thread is actually a part of the discussions, and I've got it here. I've got it subscribed so I get emails when there's any questions posted here. Let's see, Pedro posted, and on that same day I replied, and then Pedro posted again today, actually, and I replied today. Oh, look, 11:10 a.m. and I replied 11:13 a.m. Oh, do I get kudos for that, huh? That's pretty good. That's pretty rapid responses, right? Okay, so this is a good place to get, feedback on questions. However, I will tell you that if you have a question about your grade, you do not use this. You're gonna have to email me. And I reply about the same, because the reason why I know it comes to my email, so it's not like you're losing time. But I want you to use your email for questions specifically about your grade or homework, okay? If you just have a general questions about the class, like what Pedro posted, this is a good place to post that. All right, so let's go back to Canvas. All right, we've got the Canvas support. We did that questions thread, and then here's my calendar. I posted it today, I think it was, and I'm just going to give you the heads up of when I'm available on Zoom. All right, I'm available on Zoom specifically for you guys because you're an online class. I don't have any there's no classroom time set for you, but I have office hours set up between 10 and 11 every day. Now, having said that, I do have specific time set up for Accounting 1 and Accounting 2 and Business 295. Accounting 2 is from 8 to 10. Accounting 1 is from 8 to 10. Accounting 2 again, you could see. And then Business 295, which is math, I'm there from 8 to 11. Now, I will tell you that if you come in, because it's the same link, it's the same Zoom that you like, the same class or Zoom class, the same codes that you got in today. So I use the same ones all the time. If you come in, like say on Friday morning at 9, and there's a good chance, because students don't really show up for class anyway if they don't have to. So in most cases, I'm just sitting there available for students, and I may get 1 or 2 from each classroom during that period of time. If you come in and see me during that time, I'm likely going to be able to address your question. Well, I will address your question. I may have to ask you to hang on until I help another student, especially if they're in that class, they're going to take the priority for that. But for the most part, 95% of the time, I'm just sitting there, I'm doing other stuff, but I'm online. And so you should be able to get online and get, and ask me questions. You can do it that way, or you can email me, and I'm pretty good at getting back at people, particularly after you start submitting your assignments and getting feedback. Sometimes it gets, especially the first couple of weeks, it gets confusing as to what your feedback is, and how, why are you not getting full credit, etc. Okay, so just so that you know, the time that's specifically set out for you and all other students is here between 10 and 11 Monday and Thursday. But any of this time as well, if you can come in and see me, and I will do my best to help you as quickly as possible. Okay. Any questions about my calendar? All right. Let's go back to modules. We have the open Zoom meeting that we're doing right now. I'm going to update. There's going to be 2 files, I guess. So it's going to be part 1 and part 2. And then the general office meeting details. Anytime I say I'm online, this is where the links are. So if you click on the general office, you'll click on this and this will get you to the Zoom meeting. Okay. All right. From then on, you'll look at every module. Oh, no. Before that, we have Elab homepage. Let's see. Yeah, the Elab homepage. So if any of you are familiar with like My Math Lab or My Accounting Lab, Elab is very similar. So whenever you want to get to Elab, you're going to have to, that's just a kind of a quick link for you to get there. Now, the first time you go in there, if you're not already signed up for it, you're going to have to sign in as a new student and then take it from there. Most of you probably have already done this, but let me go ahead and I set up some videos here for you. We'll go ahead and go through those videos. It says the first one is create an Elab account. So let's hope the videos are accessible and they work.
To get started creating a student account, go to the Elab homepage and click on Learner under Register as New User. Begin filling out the form with your information. When you get to the zip code field, type in your zip code, then click anywhere out of the box. It will then automatically fill in your country, city, and state. Click the Create Account button at the bottom of the page to finish the registration process. Congratulations! Your Elab student account is now created. To verify.
Okay, so one of the things that I get students ask me all the time is, okay, I've created my Elab account, and at the top it's showing, here we go. Here we go. It says you are now not currently enrolled in any course. It says please click here to add a course. And the first thing you're going to be asked is for a course code. Now, the course code is adding my Elab course code is right here. You see that? So what I would do is take that down. In fact, I would click it here and I'd go back to here and I would just copy and paste it. If I can I? I don't know if I can. But anyway, if you can get a hold of it without, I guess you can't. You're gonna have to write it down or punch it in. So that's your course code for Elab. When you want to add the course code, that's it. Any questions on the course code for Elab? So that's what you're going to do is, actually there's adding my course key. Here's a video. We'll watch that real quick as well.
Now that your account is created and you're logged in, you'll see a Getting Started is Easy message, which will give you more information about Elab. If you no longer want this message to appear every time you log in, check the Do Not Show Again checkbox and click OK. If you're adding a course for the first time, it will say, "You are not currently enrolled in any courses. Please click here to add a course." Click on the Click Here link to begin adding a course. Enter the course code, which is given to you by your instructor. You will not find the course code in your textbook, nor will it be in your class schedule. It can only be given to you by your instructor. After entering the course code, click on Submit. Your instructor's course information now appears. Here, you have two options. Select Input License Key Now if you already have an Elab license key or redemption code. Or, if you're waiting to receive your textbook with Elab or don't have a key as yet and need to purchase one, select the 14 days trial. After the trial is up, your course access will expire and you will no longer get access to the course. Any previous work you submitted during the trial access will not be deleted. I don't have a key or redemption code, so I will select the 14-day full access and click Submit to finish the process. My course is now added to my Courses/Evaluations page. Every time I log in, the course will be listed here for me to access. If you obtain a license key or redemption code before the trial expires, you can input it at any time. Click the Enter a License Key link and type in the license key or redemption code and submit it. You will then get full access to the course. If you selected the 14-day trial access, once this access expires, you will see a message in red which says, "Your 14-day trial access has expired. Click here to enter a license key. If you don't have a license key, purchase one here." In my case, I have a license key, so I will click on Click here and input it. I click Submit, and as you can see, that expired message is no longer there, and now I have full access to the course. If you still do not have a key, then you can click on the link to purchase one. I can now continue from where I left off. Any assignments and tests I previously submitted were not deleted after the trial expired.
Okay, so that's how we get all Elab set up. And just so that we're clear, week 2 is when you start doing your homework next week. In week 2, you will not use Elab to submit your skills 1-1 or 1-2. That's going to be done in Canvas. However, you will need it to complete your chapter 1 quiz. Okay, that will be required. Okay, so that takes care of Elab. Now we're going to look at QuickBooks itself, right? So now you need to download the QuickBooks software. Now, before we get started on this, unfortunately, you have to have a Windows-based PC. You have to have a Windows-based PC. It could be a laptop of any type. There's a ton of different type or brands, but it has to be Windows-based. A Chromebook will not work. Chromebook will not work. So if you have a Chromebook and you thought you were going to be able to use that in this course, that's not going to work. So you need to have access to a PC, a Windows-based PC, either at your home or at your work, or they do loan out Windows-based PCs at the library. If you need to get that, I have a name for you. Her name is Catherine Tooley, but you can send me an email and I will forward to you her email, and you can request from her to get a Windows-based laptop. They'll check it out. It'll be a loaner for the semester, and you should be good to go to be able to use that. Okay.
How do you know if your computer is Windows-based?
It has to have Microsoft. You see this little, it has Microsoft. If you have that Windows there, that's Windows.
Oh yeah, okay, I'm covered, okay.
That's right. All right, so now once you've nailed that you've got a Windows-based PC, then you're going to have to. Now, I can't do all this process, but what you're going to have to do is kind of read through this process, QuickBooks Installation Guide. All right. So this guide includes instructions for installing a trial version of QuickBooks. Now, what you're getting is a trial version, but what you're going to do is alert them that you are taking a course, and you're going to get a 180-day trial. So it's still a trial version, but it'll give you 180 days so that you can do all of your assignments. That's like almost, that's like a half a year, right? So, so the way this works is you can install QuickBooks Desktop. Now understand, that's what we're going to be using, QuickBooks Desktop. All right, so let's go ahead. Every time I click on this link, it's going to come down. So installing QuickBooks Desktop, you're first going to have to register for the software. So you're going to have to navigate to this, and you know that it's the correct one because it has a desktop. Do not click on the online version. We're not using the online version. We're not learning the online version. It's different. One could argue that what's essentially happening is the technology is merging so that the desktop versions are looking a little bit more like the online, and the online is looking more. So you're not losing anything in the context of what you're learning. But I will tell you that the online versions are not as robust. You can't do everything that you would like to do in a desktop version. And if you're going to work for a CPA firm or for most companies, they end up purchasing the desktop version. At this point in time, at some point in time, it's probably going to merge, but because the online versions are so limited right now, they're still not quite what most companies are using, and particularly CPA firms. So I'm teaching you the desktop version because it is so much more comprehensive. All right, and you really need to understand how that works. So when you do that, you're going to fill out a form, just as it's listed here. And when you're filling out this form, you're going to actually have to get a verification of you. And the way that will actually work is you will be either instantly verified. Okay, so you see this, you're going to get this verify and continue. When you get this verify and continue, you will either be instantly verified, or you're going to be asked to, well, here's the example of what it'll look like. If your retail activation does not work, press the email us at this. You should be receiving an email shortly with more information on getting started. So what you're going to get is a product license and a license key that you're going to be needing when you install the software. You don't even have the software yet. All you've done is have gotten the product key and the license keys, right? So when if this works perfectly, which 90% of the time it works perfectly, then you're going to get the email that'll tell you exactly what you need, and you're going to use the product license key. You may be asked if for some reason or another, I'm not quite sure what database they use, but for some reason that database that they use, it's some international database to verify that you exist and that you're in school. If for some reason it doesn't exist, then you're going to be asked for some additional information. You may have to provide a class schedule, a transcript, a tuition receipt, something to confirm that you're actually a COS student or you're actually a student. And that may be required if the verification doesn't work on the front end.
Mine didn't go through the first time.
Okay.
No, I had to send another one because it didn't have my full name on there. I tried to send my class schedule and it got caught off on certain areas, so I got declined. So I have to resubmit.
Okay. All right. If you just stay at it, it'll get through. It's kind of a pain to kind of get to this point where you get the license key. But once that happens, you will get an email that will have the product code and the license key. Now, that shouldn't stop you from getting work done immediately, because when you actually start the software and download it and get it going, it's gonna ask you if you want a 30-day trial. So you'll get a 30-day trial on the actual software itself. And then when that 30 days expire, you're gonna have to enter a product code and license. And that's why you got to get that from this process. Okay. All right. So it is a bit of a challenge to get this all done. Go ahead. Any question? Go ahead.
On the thing you have to fill out, which you had just above there,
Okay.
at the bottom, it asks for which QuickBooks desktop version, your
2018.
okay, not the 2019 or 2020.
Nope, 2018 is what we're using.
Okay.
I'm gonna, and honestly, there's very limited differences between all the way back from 16 to 20. They're pretty much the same. I will tell you that next semester, I'm probably gonna go ahead and switch to 2020 because every 2 years I go ahead and upgrade. But right now, 18 is fine. And like I said, once you learn 18, you've really learned 19 and 20. I've got them all. I've got all versions on my computers, and they're pretty much the same. Okay. QuickBooks doesn't change from year to year. On occasion, there's some additional features that, like 18 has this really cool kind of, you can actually use or let them know that you've got dual monitors, and that's a really cool feature. But you got it right now, and that's also on 18, 19, and the 20 versions. I'm sure the 21 versions are out, so I may end up having just to jump up to 2021 next year. But honestly, once you've learned one of those versions, you've got it down. There's no real difference. I use them all the time. I can tell you firsthand, there's no difference. But because you're going to be using the 18 version, that's essentially what this class is based on. You want to make sure you choose the 18. Okay. So once you have that down, you've got the verification done. Let's say everything works. You'll go down and you'll follow this. There's this download or scan. You're going to go ahead and download the information. Download or scan one of the required forms of verification and save to your computer. You'll follow this. You'll choose. Wait a second. I'm lost on here now. Oh, this is the second verification. That's the continuation of the second. This is just the instruction to do what Nina did earlier. You had to submit and then she had to resubmit. Okay. So that once everything is done, you should be here for part 2, installing your software. Okay. Now, what you'll do is you'll click on this link to download the exe file. That is the QuickBooks file, and that you will save it down to your computer. And when you save it down to your computer, you will get started on working, or it will start installing onto your computer. If necessary, click the download button and then close all programs, including antivirus software. Click next once you get started, and then ultimately you're going to ask for the license and product number. Okay? And so at this point in time is when that email that you receive that you receive for verification, or if you went through the second verification process, you'll need that license and product number. I think there's going to be an option that says use a 30-day trial as well, but I don't see it here. So you should be able to. But when it's all said and done, you want to get this verification process done anyway. So make sure you've got your license and product numbers good to go. So that, again, you have until next week to make this all work. So I'm hoping that by Monday morning, you are good to go to start on your week 1 or week 2, chapter 1 assignments. Okay. You can follow these instructions and that should be fine. You will be asked to activate your QuickBooks, and you want to go ahead and when it does ask you to activate it, you want to follow these steps, including entering your emails, and you should be good. In that process, you're going to be creating an Intuit account. It should be pretty straightforward. Okay. All right. So when you are using the software, let's see right here. Okay. This is important as well. Your trial software defaults to the Accountant Edition. If you're using a Labyrinth QuickBook desktop book for 2018, this is 2019 or earlier, which is 2018, and your classroom is using the Quick Grader, you must toggle to the Pro Edition of the software every time you start QuickBooks. So this is something you're going to have to do every single time you get into the software. Toggle to the Pro Edition. So when you have QuickBooks in front of you, from the menu bar, you can choose File. This is the very top button, the very first top left button. And then you'll see that there's a toggle to another edition option. You'll click on that, and then you'll choose QuickBooks Pro. You'll click Next, and it will take you to QuickBooks Pro Edition. When you're reading your textbook and following the instructions of the textbook, it'll tell you to do this at least the very first time, and it'll remind you a couple of times, all right? And then after that, you should kind of remember from then on out. All right, so that's how you install QuickBooks 2018 on your Windows machine. Do I have any questions? Has anybody done this already?
I have, but I wasn't able to download the second part.
Okay.
And then my email wouldn't go through. And then when I put forgot password, it said that my email was already registered. But I did call the link that they had there, and the lady helped me. She redid everything for me, so I was able, because my passcode to the one on the book, when I scratched it off, it didn't go through.
Okay.
And she said she went step by step exactly how to do it. It was really helpful.
Very, very good. So you had what link did you use to get help?
It just said the help button, and there was a phone number there to contact us.
Oh, okay.
And I left them
in QuickBooks.
One of the links that you sent on the I don't even know what it's called. I don't remember. Okay. But on the link that you had posted on one of the modules, there was a small box on the bottom, I believe, and it said contact us. Okay. And that's where I was able to get help.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions about installing QuickBooks? This has to be done and up and ready to go by Monday. So you've got a few days, but you don't have forever, so you better jump on it, right? All right. So let me go ahead and close that. Let's go back to modules. And we're just going down the list. We've created an Elab account. We've added an Elab course. We've downloaded the software. Now, once you've downloaded the software, there's going to be some files you need to download. Some files. Once you've installed QuickBooks and you're ready to go, you're going to need files to work on. And those files are here. Download the QuickBooks Desktop comprehensive exercise files. So you'll click on this, and you've got to find the exercise files. You're going to have to scroll down, keep scrolling. Here's some exercise files, and you're going to be looking for the picture that best represents the book. And let's go down here. It looks like the picture that I'm looking at looks like those three here. But be careful. There's one that says comprehensive, there's one that says level 1, and there's one that says level 2. I don't know, which one do we want to download? Comprehensive. Thank you, Nina. I read your lips. So now you'll see that there are two downloads. There's the portable files and there's the company files. All right. When you download those files, I would strongly recommend that you download them to your desktop. So that way it's easy to find them at all time, okay? You'll download first the company files, and then you'll download the portable files. Now, just so that you know, technically you don't need to download both because they're really the same files. When they come into a portable files, they come in, they're condensed. And then you've got to then in QuickBooks go through the process of accessing a portable file, and it converts it to a regular company file, all right? I would say you don't need them both, but there is part of your exercise problem is converting a portable file to a regular file. So therefore, you should go ahead and download both of them, and then unless you're limited on space, if you're limited on space, then you probably should just download the portable files. Smaller, and then you just convert those portable files to regular files as you go along. But that's kind of a pain in my mind. I would go ahead and download both of them, Only use the portable files when you're required to, because you're going to be following a set of instructions in your books. But other than that, just go to the company files from then on out. You know, just, I think it's right at the beginning, like maybe chapter 1 or chapter 2, where you're converting a portable file to a company file. All right. But after that, every time you want to access the file, I would strongly recommend. By the way, the other thing that I would recommend is that when you work on these, okay, so I told you to use the desktop on your computer. Now, if you want to be using these files in different computers, so let's say, for example, you have 2018 at your office, you know, and you want to be doing some homework, then what you're going to want to do is put these files on a flash drive. In fact, that may be recommended anyway, that you put these on a flash drive, right, rather than your desktop. But that's up to you. You can put these files either onto a flash drive, or you can put them onto your desktop, and either way you'll be able to access them. My preference is always to use my computer. I use the desktop, but I guess you're risking, if something goes wrong, then you've messed up all of your, if your hard drive crashes, then so you've lost those files. So you've got to weigh that risk. When I use stuff, everything is backed up on my machine, so I don't worry too much about it. But if you're going to be moving from one computer to the next, and if this was like, if the school was open, we have computers at the school that actually have 2018 and you can use them there, then I would almost say for sure, if you're going to be using those computers, you're going to want to put them on a flash drive, because you're going to be working on it and then going home, and you can't put them on those machines because they're cleared out. By the way, if you use a loaned machine from COS, I think every day or every time you shut it off, it clears those files out. So you will have to use a flash drive for your exercise files.
Yeah, you do. The minute you turn it off, it clears out. I used one all last year.
Yeah. Okay. So just so that you know, if you borrow a machine from the library, you're going to need to use a flash drive, because it wipes out everything on that. On that, any data is going to be wiped out. Okay. All right. Downloading, you know, these are going to be zip files now, so you have to have a little bit of familiarity with zip files, and you're going to have to unzip those files. And I think I posted, I don't know, I'm going to, you know, you can go to YouTube as an example. Maybe I should just post a YouTube video. I haven't, you know, unzipping files. So you can find a good video. How long is this? This one is, that's 2:2. This is 1:30. Let's see, this looks kind of cool. Let's look at this.
Need a professional logo for your brand? I've used the new Wix logo maker to create one for my startup. I'll show you how. First.
Hello everyone, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Geek Tech here with another quick tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing how to unzip files or extract files from a zipped folder in Windows 10. So while there are a lot of third-party applications that can zip and unzip files like WinRAR, Windows does have native support for file compression and uncompression. So this will allow you to easily compress and uncompress files, or zip and unzip files and folders fairly easily. So in this tutorial, I will be going through how to do this without any third-party programs. So we're going to start with what I believe to be the easiest way here. And that will be just to find our zipped folder. And we want to right-click on it, and then left-click on extract.
So in this case, he actually has the zip folder on his desktop. It would either be on the desktop of your computer, as I recommended for you, or it would be on the flash drive, and you got to know where the flash drives are and go find them, okay? So you're going to have 2 zip drives, because you're going to be downloading the regular files, the company files, and also the portable files. So you're going to have 2 zip files. So you're going to follow this set of instructions. Let me go ahead and back up here.
And our zipped folder, and we want to right-click on it, and then left-click on Extract All. Select the destination for the extracted files. By default, it'll select the same location as the zipped folder was located in. So you just left-click on Extract, and we can see that our folder has been extracted. So pretty straightforward. Now I should note that some zipped or compressed files might have passwords attached to them. and it won't be that easy to do this. But in most cases,
Okay, you don't have to worry about a password. You essentially have a zip file that's going to be downloaded, and then you're going to extract it so that it creates another file. So because you're downloading 2 zip files, when it's all said and done, you're going to have 4 folders. You've got a zip folder. You're going to create a zip folder for the portable files, and then you're going to have a zip folder for what you download for the regular company files, and then it's going to be a zip folder. You're going to extract that, and you're going to have another folder for your company files. After you've created or unzipped them, you can actually delete those zip folders. You won't need them anymore. From then on out, you're just going to go to the new folders that you've created. Okay? Any questions on unzipping folders? All right, so let's go back to modules. Where did we go? We're at here. Here's a link for the ebook. If you signed up for the ebook, you should be able to enter the ebook. You will have the first time, because it's in Online Vital Source. So the very first time you will have to enter a code that you get with your purchase of the ebook. There'll be a separate code that you'll have to enter for that. But after you've done it once, you'll just have a login and password. And then you'll click in. And then you'll have the ebook here. And then, like in my case, I'll go to continue reading. So here's the actual book. And if I click on here, I'll have all the chapters listed. So I'm going to probably want to go to chapter 1. And there's the contents. And here's the detail that I would read through. Okay, so let me go to chapter 1. There's the chapter opener. When you go to the actual homework, I think Apply Your Skills is the first one. It's Apply Your Skills 1.1. Apply Your Skills, explore QuickBooks and create a backup file. Apply to get a grasp on your accounting principles. So this is the 1 and 2 that's due next week. Okay, now included with the downloaded files, those QuickBooks company files, included in those files, you will see your worksheets that you're going to need. Okay, they will be in those. You'll have to scroll down and find them, but they will be embedded in there. Okay, you just got to go find them. They're part of the exercise files, and that's going to be what's going to be required for the first week. Once you're done with the first week, you'll go into week 2. And then I think Apply Your Skills, and the calendar tells you what problems are due. Okay. Okay. So that addresses the ebook if you purchase the ebook. Now, if you've got the physical book, then you won't, and you don't want the ebook, you're good to go. Now, in addition to that, I've actually put a link here because when you're completely done with your work on the actual QuickBooks file, you'll be asked to export to Excel. And so you'll have to go through this process of exporting. Okay? QuickBooks reports to Excel, QuickBooks reports to Excel. So you'll have a set of instructions there on how to do that. All right? All right, there's a number of videos here that I posted for you to train for Elab. I don't want to spend more time on going through each one of these videos. It's something that you can go through on your own. So for week 1, this week, not only do I want you to get everything set up, get access, you're good to go, but also go through these videos so that you understand exactly how to use Elab. And then this is your introduction discussion that you may or may not, because it says clearly it's not graded, so you don't have to worry about it. And then from then on out, we're good to go. Week 2, you've got your Apply Your Skills 1-1 and Apply Your Skills 1-2. And then the Elab, you'll have to do your Chapter 1 quiz. Oh my goodness. We've been here 2 hours, but you know what? The first hour, that was your fault because you asked me all kinds of great questions. So don't blame me. That was your fault. Let me stop sharing for a bit. Okay. Are there any other questions that we need to address before we say goodbye today? You guys look way too excited. Calm down, guys. All right. Just quit being too excited because I can see you guys are all just ready to rush off and get your homework done right now. No? Maybe not?
Well, I have a question.
Okay.
Will we ever have early access to like discussions or other assignments, or do we have to wait until the week of to, you know, work on anything?
I do not allow access to before. You know what? You may check. You could check because it's independent. When you go look at your assignments on Elab, if you have access to them, I think now that I think about it, I think you can. I think you can. Now, here's the one thing also. When you submit your files for grade, you have like 20 uploads, 20 attempts. So that's like unlimited attempts. If you get something not right, it'll give you the feedback. Then you could just, fix it on your QuickBooks and then try to resubmit. And I will also tell you that you really need, I think you're going to need Excel on the computers you're working on. You're going to need Excel because when you're converting that file to exporting it to Excel, you will need Excel so that your computer knows exactly what you're supposed to be doing. So whatever computer your Windows-based computer you're using, I know the ones that you get from the library have Excel, but make sure that computer also is running in Excel software. If you don't have Excel, there are ways for students to get a hold of Excel for a really inexpensive price. So email me and I will see what I can do for you. I almost want, no, I don't want to say it's free. I don't think it's free, but I think it's really inexpensive. All right.
I got mine free with the school somehow. My husband figured it out because he was going to purchase it and then he found a link and I don't know what he did, but you can get it for free because I got when I was taking the spreadsheet class, I needed it and he was able to download something and he was able to get it for free
so there you go.
From the school.
There you go. There's your contact right there, Nina Sanchez. You're going to go and email her and say, hey, how did you get that for free? Because I haven't done it for free. I pay for everything. It pisses me off. But everything I use is for my office as well. So it makes sense because that's a for-profit business. So I need to be paying. But getting it free for a nonprofit like a school, then that makes perfect sense. So Nina Sanchez is your contact. I even gave her her last names. You're like, great. I shouldn't have said anything. Okay. Any other questions? Now, the only thing I can tell you is you can do this. It is a pain in the behind to start this, okay? It is a pain. And it's going to get a little bit frustrating and you're going to think, oh, I don't know if once you get this down, and it's going to be a little bit of a pain even the first, second, and third weeks. But once you get this down from week 3 or 4 on, it's really, it'll be really smooth. It's the same thing every week. So it's just automatic. You just know exactly what to do because it's the same thing every week. And usually I get like a number of questions and problems and concerns and issues I have to deal with on the front end. But by week 5 or 6, I rarely get any. I'll get like the same students that are wondering how to fix this and how to fix that, but not any technical issues. It's just about working QuickBooks and trying to figure out what QuickBooks is going on. So if you just give yourself a little bit of patience and just work through this, you'll be fine. And then once that happens, then you'll actually learn how to use QuickBooks, which is pretty cool. Okay, any other questions before we sign off? I'm starving. I haven't even eaten dinner because of you guys. See how much I love you? March 11th is my birthday. March 12th is Yolanda, so you got to get her something too, right? Not Yolanda? Somebody was March 12th.
Yeah, that's mine. I actually had a question for you, but I'll just next time, since you're hungry.
Oh, no, go ahead, Yolanda. I'm here for you. What do you have?
No, it was kind of more of a personal.
Oh, okay. All right. Next, you come online and any of my Zoom meetings, and I'll be there, and I'll be happy to address any of your questions. Okay, any other questions? You don't want to keep everybody here. Yeah, because you'd be beaten up in the parking lot if you held this class a little bit longer. You're like, just be quiet, shut up, shut up. Don't you hate it when you're in class and you know the instructor is like, okay, are there any questions? And somebody raises their hand like, I just want to go home. And then they ask a question, and what's worse is they ask a question that you know because you were there early. You know that the instructor reviewed, right? You're like, are you kidding me? What, were you not here? That's funny. Get a kick out of it. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. If you have any questions or issues or concerns, please send an email to me. In some cases, if you have access problems, it'll be something that I'm going to need to be forward to my technical support person for Labyrinth, and they've been pretty good about solving problems. So so if you do get stuck with all this installation and you've got a code issue or something like that, go ahead and email me and I'll do my very best to get it resolved for you as quickly as possible. Okay? Okay, good night, guys. Have a good dinner if you haven't already eaten. Have a great installation. We will see you guys online and or Zoom.
Bye.
Good luck to all of you, and thank you for coming tonight. Be good, be safe too, okay? See you guys. Take care.
Enjoy your meal.
I will. Thank you.